Nikki Bella's WWE debut as the Bella Twins. On the August 29, 2008 episode of SmackDown, Brianna debuted as Brie Bella, defeating Victoria. She quickly began a scripted rivalry with Victoria and Victoria's accomplice, Nattie, and had a series of matches against them. In each match, Brie would roll out of the ring and go underneath it, emerging and appearing revived, and then win the match. On the October 31st episode of SmackDown, when Brie went under the ring, Victoria grabbed her legs, but a second pair of legs kicked her off, implying that a second person was under the ring. The following week on SmackDown, Brie defeated Victoria and then ran under the ring to escape Nattie and Victoria, but Victoria and Nattie both reached for Brie under the ring, resulting in both Nicole and Brie being pulled out. The twins then attacked them and celebrated afterward. Nicole was then introduced as Nikki Bella, and the twins had their first official match as a team on the November 21st episode of SmackDown. Defeating Victoria and Nattie, they continue competing in tag team matches over the following months. Starting in November, the twins developed an on-screen relationship with the Collins, appearing in numerous backstage segments with them and accompanying them to the ring. In February 2009, the storyline expanded to include John Morrison and The Miz, who flirted with the Bellas and took them on a date for Valentine's Day. The date provoked a rivalry between the teams of The Miz and Morrison and Primo and Carlito, with the four competing for the affection of the twins, who were seemingly unable to choose between them. On the March 17th episode of ECW, Carlito and Primo, aiming for Morrison and The Miz, accidentally spat apples in the face of Brie. Nikki began to laugh at Brie's misfortune, and a fight broke out between the two, which led to Nikki leaving with The Miz and Morrison, while Brie stayed with Primo and Carlito, with Nikki turning heel in the process. Brie won her first match over Nikki in a 6-person intergender tag team match on SmackDown the following week. On the March 18th, 2009, the Bella Twins were both drafted to the Raw brand as part of the 2009 supplemental draft. On April 27th, Brie made her Raw and Ring debut in an 8-diva tag team match, which her team won. Nikki also made an appearance, reuniting with her twin as she was under the ring to help Brie during the match, turning face in the process. Nikki then made her in-ring debut for the brand the following month in a battle royal, but was eliminated by Beth Phoenix. On June 29, 2009, they were both traded to the ECW brand. They debuted on ECW the following night as special guests on the Abraham Washington Show. They developed a storyline feud with Katie Lee Burchill, when Nikki defeated her in a match by switching places with Brie behind the referee's back. The following week on Superstars, Brie defeated Burchill in similar fashion, and the feud ended in September when Nikki defeated Burchill on Superstars. On October 12th, the Bellas were traded back to Raw as part of a tri-branded Divas trade, where they predominantly appeared in backstage segments with the weekly guest stars and only occasionally competed in matches. On the January 4th, they developed a feud with Jillian Hall, when Brie defeated her after switching places with Nikki. The following week, Nikki defeated Hall after switching with Brie. The feud was exacerbated when the Bellas acted as the special guest referees during one of Hall's matches. During the match, Hall attacked both twins, but lost the match when Nikki made a fast count, allowing her to be pinned by Gail Kim. The next week on Superstars, the twins defeated Hall and Owlett in a tag team match to end the storyline. On August 31st, the Bella Twins announced they would be part of the all-female third season of NXT, mentoring Jamie. Jamie was the first rookie diva eliminated on the October 5th episode of NXT. In November, the twins began a storyline with Daniel Bryan, when Brie accompanied him to the ring for his match. Following his win, Nikki ran out and the two fought over Bryan's affection, until Bryan broke it up and had them hug each other. They began to manage Bryan and frequently accompanied him to the ring over the next 2 months. In January 2011, both Bellas turned into villainous characters for the first time in their careers, when they discovered they teamed with Melina in a losing effort to Kim, Eve Torres, and Snuka, Divas Champion. The Bellas began feuding with Eve Torres after they appeared as Lumberjills during a Divas Championship match between Torres and Nattie on the February 14th episode of Raw. Following the match, they attacked Torres backstage before Gail Kim and Nattie stopped them. The next week, the twins defeated Torres and Kim in a tag team match. The following week, Nikki won a battle royal to become the #1 contender for the Divas Championship, and unsuccessfully challenged Torres for the championship on March 7th. On April 11th, Nikki helped Brie defeat Torres to win the Divas Championship, marking the first time either twin had held a championship in WWE. Nikki helped Brie once again, this time to successfully defend the championship against Kelly at Over the Limit, after switching places with Brie. However, Brie lost the championship against Kelly on a special Power to the People episode of Raw on June 20th, ending her reign at 70 days, and failing to regain it on July 17th, in a rematch against Kelly at Money in the Bank. The twins spent the majority of the rest of the year in tag team matches, regularly facing Kelly and Torres. The Bellas began to show friction for the second time since joining WWE in March 2012, after both twins lost to AJ Lee in singles competition. After Brie's match with Lee, Nikki revealed that Brie was rooting for Team Johnny in the 12-man tag team match at WrestleMania 28, whilst Nikki was rooting for Team Teddy, thus furthering their dissension. On the April 6th episode of SmackDown, Nikki defeated then Divas Champion Beth Phoenix in a non-title match, after Kelly distracted Phoenix. On April 23rd, Nikki defeated Phoenix in a lumberjill match on Raw to win the Divas Championship for the first time. Brie lost Nikki's championship to Layla at Extreme Rules after Twin Magic failed, ending her Divas Championship reign after only a week. The following night on Raw, they competed in their last match with the WWE, failing to win back the Divas Championship from Layla in a triple threat match. Later that night, WWE announced on their website that the twins had been fired by Executive Administrator Eve Torres. Independent Circuit. On May 1, 2012, the twins appeared at their first independent wrestling show in Newburgh, New York for the promotion Northeast Wrestling. They later appeared for CTWE Pro Wrestling at the Season Beatings pay-per-view on December 15th, each accompanying a different wrestler to the ring. Return to WWE. Total Divas storylines. On the March 11, 2013, episode of Raw, the Bella twins returned to WWE in a backstage segment with Team Rhodes Scholars. On the March 15th episode of SmackDown, they attacked the Funkadactyls, and the following week interfered in matches between Team Rhodes Scholars and Brodus Clay and Tensai, but were attacked by the Funkadactyls. The twins made their in-ring return facing and defeating the Funkadactyls on the March 27th episode of Main Event after interference from Cody Rhodes, and also defeated them on Raw 5 days later. The Bella twins were scheduled to participate in an 8-person tag team match with Team Rhodes Scholars against Tons of Funk and the Funkadactyls at WrestleMania 29 on April 7. That the match was cancelled due to time restraints, and instead took place the following night on Raw, where the Bella twins and Team Rhodes Scholars were defeated. The twins continued their feud with the Funkadactyls, defeating them in standard tag team and 6 Diva tag team matches. In June, Nikki suffered a fractured tibia. Upon the debut of the Total Divas reality television program in July, the Bellas returned and started a feud with their co-star on the show, Nattie. Brie and Nattie went on to trade victories in singles competition on Raw and at SummerSlam on August 18th. The cast of Total Divas then transitioned into a scripted feud with Divas champion AJ Lee, who mocked the show and cast, turning the Bellas faces in the process. Nikki returned to in-ring action on the October 25th episode of SmackDown, losing to Lee. At Survivor Series on November 24th, the twins were part of the victorious team Total Divas. On the December 9th episode of Raw, the twins were awarded Slammy Awards for Diva of the Year. On April 6, 2014, Nikki competed at WrestleMania 30 in the 14 Diva Vicky Guerrero Invitational match for the Divas Championship, which was won by the defending champion AJ Lee. The same month, Brie became involved in her real-life husband Daniel Bryan's ongoing storyline with Stephanie McMahon and Kane, where as part of the storyline, McMahon threatened to fire Brie and injured. Bryan did not relinquish the WWE World Heavyweight Championship at Payback on June 1st, which forced Brie to quit WWE before slapping McMahon in the face. After Brie quit, McMahon put Nikki in several handicap matches as punishment. After being absent for a month, Brie returned to WWE television, appearing in the crowd on July 21st. Following a confrontation, McMahon slapped Brie and was subsequently arrested. In order to have Brie drop the charges, Brie was rehired and received a match against McMahon at SummerSlam. At the pay-per-view on August 17th, Nikki turned heel by attacking Brie, which allowed McMahon to win the match. The next several weeks saw the twins fight in several backstage and in-ring segments, including a cameo appearance from Jerry Springer on Raw on September 8th. As part of the storyline, McMahon declared Nikki the face of the Divas division and granted her a match at Night of Champions for the Divas Championship on September 21st, which she failed to win. Nikki then obtained permission to begin forcing Brie to compete in handicap matches, similar to her punishment at the hands of McMahon, although Brie was able to win them. This led to a match between the twins at Hell in a Cell on October 26th, where the loser was forced to become the winner's personal assistant for 30 days, in which Nikki defeated Brie. 5 days later on SmackDown, Nikki won a Halloween costume battle royal to become the #1 contender for the Divas Championship. Longest reigning Divas Champion, Nikki received her title match against AJ Lee on November 23rd at Survivor Series, which she won with Brie's help to become a 2-time Divas Champion. The duo had reconciled at this point, with Brie also turning heel in the process. Nikki then went on to retain her championship in 3 separate occasions, against Lee in a rematch on December 14th, at TLC, Tables, Ladders and Chairs, against Naomi 2 days later on SmackDown, and against Paige at Fastlane on February 22, 2015. Paige and Lee then formed an alliance against the Bellas, which led to a tag team match at WrestleMania 31 on March 29, where Lee and Paige were victorious. On April 26, after Nikki, with the help of Brie, once again retained her title against Naomi at Extreme Rules, a feud started with Naomi aligning with the returning Snuka to even the odds against the Bellas, who began showing more heroic characteristics. This change in character was criticized as sudden, randomly, and for no reason. This led to a tag team match between the two teams at Payback on May 17th, where Naomi and Snuka were victorious. At Elimination Chamber on May 31st, Nikki retained her title against Naomi and Paige in a triple threat match, with Brie banned from ringside. In June, the Bella twins became villains once again by employing twin magic, which helped Nikki retain the title against Paige on the June 1st episode of Raw and at Money in the Bank on June 14th. During the feud with Paige, Alicia Fox allied with them to form Team Bella. At the Beast in the East on July 4th, Nikki retained the title against Paige and Snuka. After weeks of Team Bella outnumbering Paige, Naomi, and Snuka, Stephanie McMahon called for a revolution in the WWE Divas division and introduced the debuting Charlotte and Becky Lynch as Paige's allies, while NXT Women's Champion Sasha Banks debuted as an ally to Naomi and Snuka, which led to a brawl between the 3 teams. Nikki then lost to Charlotte in a tag team match on the August 3rd episode of Raw, and to Banks on the August 17th episode of Raw in a non-title match. The 3 teams faced off at SummerSlam on August 23rd in a 3-team elimination match, in which Team Bella first eliminated Team Bad, before Team PCB won. On the September 14th episode of Raw, Nikki defended her title against Charlotte, who pinned Brie after the twins had switched places to win the match. However, since the title cannot change hands by disqualification, Nikki retained the championship, and in the process, became the new longest reigning Divas champion in history, surpassing AJ Lee's previous record of 295 days. Nikki dropped the championship to Charlotte at Night of Champions on September 20th, ending her reign at 301 days, and failed to regain the title in a rematch at Hell in a Cell on October 25th. Shortly after, Nikki went on a hiatus from television due to a neck injury which would require surgery, but returned for one night on December 21st to accept the Slammy Award for Diva of the Year. Nikki made a brief cameo appearance at the WrestleMania 32 event on April 3, 2016, celebrating with Brie after winning a 10-Diva tag team match. In June, Nikki confirmed that she would no longer use her rack attack maneuver and began training with her sister's husband Daniel Bryan, whom she announced was teaching her a new finishing move. On July 21st, she was revealed to be cleared for in-ring competition and continued her training at the WWE Performance Center. Various storylines. After 10 months of inactivity, Bella made a surprise return as a villain at the SummerSlam pay-per-view on August 21st, 2016, where she replaced Eva Marie and teamed with Nattie and Alexa Bliss against Becky Lynch, Naomi, and Carmella, whom they defeated after Bella pinned Carmella. This sparked a storyline feud between Bella and Carmella, also re-establishing Bella as a face in the process. Simultaneously with her feud with Carmella, Bella took part in a 6-pack elimination challenge to determine the inaugural WWE SmackDown Women's Champion at Backlash on September 11, where she eliminated Nattie but was eliminated by Carmella. Bella eventually gained revenge as she defeated Carmella at No Mercy on October 9th and also at TLC, Tables, Ladders and Chairs in a no disqualification match on December 4th to end their feud. Bella then became the team captain of Team SmackDown for the traditional 5-on-5 elimination match at Survivor Series. However, at the event on November 20th, she was replaced by Nattie after someone attacked her backstage before the match. In December, just after their feud ended, Carmella revealed Nattie as the attacker, who eventually confirmed it, with the main reason being Bella's success and Nattie's downfall in the company. Upon the beginning of 2017, both women kept attacking each other, which led to a match at Elimination Chamber on February 12th that ended in a double count out. In a rematch that took place on the February 21st episode of SmackDown, Nattie defeated Bella in a Falls Count Anywhere match after Owlette attacked Bella with a lead pipe due to Bella accidentally tripping over her in the backstage makeup area during her match with Nattie. Owlette's attack sparked a feud between the two, which actually involved Bella's real-life boyfriend John Cena and Owlette's real-life husband, The Miz. This led to a mixed tag team match between the two couples at WrestleMania 33 on April 2nd, which Cena and Bella won. After the match, Cena legitimately proposed to Bella, which she accepted. On April 4th, Bella announced via her Instagram account that she would be taking time off from wrestling. The Bella twins made an appearance at the 25th anniversary of Raw on January 22, 2018. A few days later, both Nikki and Brie competed in the inaugural Women's Royal Rumble match at the 2018 Royal Rumble on January 28, where Nikki entered at number 27, lasting 16 minutes and 30 seconds before she was the last woman eliminated by the eventual winner Asuka. Both twins made an appearance at the SummerSlam pay-per-view on August 19, showing their support for Ronda Rousey in her match with Alexa Bliss. In September, the Bella twins returned full-time on Raw and feuded with the Riot Squad, over which they scored victories in various tag team and singles matches. To even the odds, Ronda Rousey aligned with the Bella twins, and the trio was able to defeat the Riot Squad at Super Showdown in a 6-woman tag team match on October